Before a man ever soars toward the life he dreams of, he must first learn from the only creature that rises above the storm, the eagle. Its life is a masterclass in discipline, vision, courage, and solitary strength. If you wish to rise above the ordinary, you must think as the eagle thinks, see as the eagle sees, and live as the eagle lives. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a gentle reminder spoken across time. We rise in life in exact proportion to the height of our thoughts. And today, I want to share with you the remarkable lessons we can draw from one of nature's greatest teachers, the eagle. The eagle does not flutter with sparrows nor circle with crows. It climbs. It ascends. It reaches heights where the air is thin but clarity is abundant. It is there, high above the ordinary world, that we discover the principles of success that have guided every man and woman who ever dared to live with purpose. 1. The eagle teaches us vision. Before it moves, it sees. It holds its focus on a target miles away, and so should we, keeping our minds fixed not on where we stand, but on where we are going. A man becomes what he thinks about, and what he sees with inner vision eventually becomes his outer reality, too. The eagle teaches us to rise above the storm. When dark clouds gather, every lesser bird flees, but the eagle welcomes the winds, spreads its wings, and allows the storm itself to lift it higher. Likewise, the challenges we face, though unwelcome, contain the very winds that can elevate us, if only we dare to ride them. 3. The eagle teaches us the discipline of solitude. Great decisions are rarely made in crowds. Progress is often born in silence. You must be willing to walk alone when your path requires it, for the heights of achievement are not reached by those who cling to comfort or constant company. 4. The eagle teaches us renewal. When its feathers become too heavy for flight, the eagle does not surrender. It retreats. It endures a painful process of shedding the old to make room for the strong and the new. And in our own lives, we must often release our habits, excuses, and beliefs that weigh us down. 5. The eagle teaches us swiftness and courage. When the moment for action comes, it does not hesitate. The opportunity that could change your life will not wait long at your door. Move with purpose. Act with boldness. The world rewards decisive souls. 6. The eagle teaches us strength under pressure. From the nest, the young are pushed to fly or fall, not out of cruelty, but wisdom. So too does life push us, shaping our character, building our endurance, preparing us for greater skies. 7. The eagle teaches us elevation. It chooses the mountain peak, the place above noise, distraction, and disorder. Success requires the same separation, the courage to rise above petty worries, small thinking, and the comfortable mediocrity that traps so many. And so, we arrive at the heart of this message. A man rises to the level of the thoughts he refuses to abandon. The eagle's first great lesson is its extraordinary vision, a quality that separates it from every creature that wanders aimlessly across the earth. Vision is more than eyesight. It is a deliberate, disciplined way of seeing the world. The eagle looks far beyond the moment. It observes the valleys, the movements, the possibilities spread out before it. It does not concern itself with the noise beneath its wings. It fixes its gaze on what it wants, sometimes miles away, and holds that sight with unwavering focus. This same principle governs the destiny of every man or woman who seeks to rise. What we give our attention to, we expand. What we continually look at, we eventually move toward. And what we picture in the solitude of our thoughts becomes the blueprint for what we build in the world. An eagle never confuses distractions for opportunities. It refuses to scatter its energy on every movement below. In contrast, most people allow their vision to be fractured by trivial matters, scattered thoughts, and momentary impulses. When the mind is divided, the spirit weakens. When the spirit weakens, our actions lose their force. The eagle reminds us that true power begins when we align our thoughts with a single, worthy target. A man who develops an inner vision becomes immune to the petty disturbances that once controlled him. He sees beyond the immediate discomfort, beyond the temporary setbacks, beyond the noise of the present moment. Just as the eagle sees the prey long before it descends, the individual with vision sees the result long before it materializes. This clarity of sight is not a gift handed to a chosen few. It is a discipline available to anyone willing to practice it. The eagle does not wake each morning wondering what to focus on. Its purpose dictates its gaze, and its gaze directs its flight. In the same way, when a person chooses a definite purpose, something worthy of their time, their talent, and their highest effort, they gain the mental sharpness that sets achievers apart from wanderers. Thoughts that once drifted without direction suddenly find structure. Actions that once carried hesitation now carry intention. Life becomes less about reacting and more about creating. The eagle's vision also teaches patience. It does not rush its descent. It studies, observes, calculates, and waits for the perfect moment to strike. Many people with promising dreams fall short because they mistake motion for progress. They rush toward outcomes without preparing their minds for the journey. Vision requires calmness, understanding that timing is as critical as effort. The eagle's stillness is not inactivity, it is precision in waiting. And so it should be with us. To cultivate vision is to cultivate the wisdom of preparing the mind before demanding results. Finally, the eagle's ability to see clearly in both calm and storm teaches resilience. Even when the winds rise and the world shifts, its focus remains locked on where it intends to go. Distractions may surround it, but they do not derail its purpose. A person who develops this type of mental vision finds themselves rising above circumstances that once held them down. They begin to move with confidence not because the path is easy, but because their inner sight is stronger than their outer challenges. The second principle of the eagle's success is its ability to rise above storms, a lesson in courage, resilience, and the transformative power of adversity. The storm is not a signal to retreat, it is an invitation to ascend. When dark clouds gather and winds rage, the ordinary bird seeks shelter, fleeing in fear from the very force that could carry it higher. The eagle, however, does not avoid the storm, it welcomes it. It spreads its wings, tilts into the wind, and allows the very turbulence that threatens others to lift it to greater heights. In life, we face our own storms, challenges, setbacks, disappointments, and fears that buffet us from every direction. The question is not whether the storm will come, but whether we will rise above it. Those who succeed are not those who are spared from difficulty, but those who learn to use the pressure to strengthen their wings. Rising above the storm requires a deliberate shift in perspective. The eagle does not fight the wind with brute force, it works with it. It understands that the storm is not an enemy, but a tool, a force that, when properly harnessed, can propel it to altitudes impossible in calm weather. So too must we learn to see our difficulties as opportunities rather than obstacles. Every challenge carries within it the potential for growth. Every trial, when met with courage and persistence, builds resilience, sharpens judgment, and strengthens character. People who falter under pressure are not defeated by circumstance, they are defeated by their perception of it. Those who rise above see the storm for what it is, a natural, temporary force that can either sweep them away or lift them higher, depending on how they respond. The eagle's mastery of the storm also teaches the value of preparation. It does not ascend blindly, it reads the patterns of the wind, judges the strength of the currents, and positions itself accordingly. In life, rising above challenges requires preparation of mind, body, and spirit. Knowledge, discipline, and practice are the winds we must understand before taking flight. A person who cultivates skills, sharpens judgment, and maintains a steady mind can navigate the fiercest storms with confidence. Without preparation, the same winds that lift the eagle can become destructive forces that overwhelm the unready. Strength and skill are forged under pressure, but only if we choose to meet it. Patience and timing are also essential in mastering the storm. The eagle does not struggle against it in haste. It waits for the right moment, adjusts its wings, and moves decisively. The same principle applies to our lives. Impulsive action in the midst of chaos can lead to failure. Calm, deliberate, and measured responses allow us to harness the storm's energy, turning potential disaster into a source of momentum. Rising above the storm is not merely about enduring. It is about learning to move with it, to find the upward currents that will carry us to new heights. Finally, the eagle's ascent through storms is a lesson in confidence and trust. It trusts in its strength, its wings, and its instincts. It understands that the storm will not last forever, and that perseverance through turbulence leads to freedom and clarity above the clouds. In our own lives, confidence in our abilities and trust in the process enable us to rise above temporary adversity and find perspective, clarity, and opportunity where others see only chaos and fear. The third principle of the eagle's success lies in its discipline of solitude, a quality that many overlook but which forms the foundation of true growth and achievement. The eagle does not fly with the flock when the journey demands altitude, it chooses the solitary path, knowing that the heights it seeks cannot be reached in the comfort of company. There is a lesson here for every individual who desires greatness. Solitude is not loneliness, but a deliberate space in which the mind sharpens, the spirit strengthens, and clarity emerges. When surrounded by constant chatter and the opinions of others, it is easy to drift, to compromise, to accept mediocrity. The eagle, by contrast, thrives in silence, using it as a tool to focus its energy and purpose. Solitude teaches discipline because it removes the distractions that often cloud judgment. In isolation, one cannot rely on the guidance of others. Every decision must be made with deliberate thought, every action considered with intention. Many people avoid solitude because it forces them to confront their own minds, to face their fears, their weaknesses, and the excuses they habitually tell themselves. Yet it is precisely in these moments of quiet reflection that we develop the strength to rise above external pressures. The eagle spends hours circling the skies alone, observing, calculating, and waiting. This is not wasted time, it is preparation. In our own lives, moments of solitude allow us to plan, to visualize our goals, and to align our actions with our highest priorities. Moreover, solitude cultivates independence. The eagle does not rely on the direction of others to find its path. It trusts its instincts, its vision, and its experience. Similarly, personal growth demands that we develop self-reliance. While mentorship and collaboration are valuable, ultimate responsibility for our lives rests with ourselves. Solitude provides the environment in which we can practice making decisions, learning from mistakes, and developing confidence in our own judgment. It is the forge in which character is tempered, producing individuals capable of standing strong amid challenges and uncertainties. The discipline of solitude also fosters creativity and insight. When the mind is free from noise and distraction, it can explore new ideas, connect disparate concepts, and discover solutions that remain hidden in the crowd. The eagle high above the earth sees patterns invisible to those below. In a similar way, those who embrace solitude gain perspective on their own lives and the world around them. They are able to see opportunities where others see obstacles, to anticipate challenges before they arrive, and to act with wisdom rather than impulse. Solitude demands courage, for it requires us to confront our inner selves without the comfort of constant affirmation from others. Many avoid being alone because it reveals uncomfortable truths or forces responsibility for choices long deferred. The eagle, however, does not shrink from the challenge of solitary flight. It embraces it, knowing that only by mastering itself can it master the skies. In the same way, every individual who wishes to achieve greatness must learn to embrace their own company, to cultivate mental and emotional independence, and to find strength in the quiet moments when the world offers no applause, no guidance, and no distraction. Ultimately, the eagle's discipline of solitude is not about isolation, it is about elevation. It is about creating the space necessary to rise above the ordinary, to focus on what truly matters, and to prepare for the decisive moments in life when courage, clarity, and purpose must take flight. The fourth principle of the eagle's success is its remarkable ability to embrace pressure and transform it into strength, a lesson that resonates deeply with anyone seeking achievement. The eagle does not avoid the heavy winds, the turbulent air, or the strain that challenges its wings. Instead, it rises into the pressure, knowing that resistance is not an enemy, but a teacher. The storms that buffet its flight force the eagle to stretch, to test its limits, and to discover its true capabilities. In life, pressure is inevitable. We face deadlines, competition, criticism, and unexpected difficulties that push us beyond comfort. Those who shy away from pressure remain small, like fledglings in the nest, while those who lean into it grow stronger, faster, and more capable, just as the eagle becomes mightier with every gust it masters. Pressure is a refining force. When a man or woman encounters stress, the natural impulse is often to resist, to shrink, or to avoid. The eagle, however, uses the very resistance to sharpen its wings, to perfect its skill, and to heighten its awareness. Similarly, when we confront challenges, we have the choice to let them break us or to let them shape us. Every difficulty contains within it an opportunity for growth. Every moment of strain carries a lesson that can strengthen character, develop resilience, and enhance wisdom. The individual who embraces pressure does not merely endure, it evolves. The eagle's response to pressure also demonstrates the importance of adaptability. It does not fight the wind blindly, it adjusts its feathers, its angle, its approach, and its trajectory to harness the forces that threaten to knock it off course. In the same way, we must learn to adjust to life challenges rather than resisting them with rigidity. Flexibility under pressure is not weakness, it is intelligence, strategy, and foresight. By embracing change, difficulty, and stress, we position ourselves to gain advantage where others stumble. Pressure also demands courage, for it forces action in circumstances where hesitation could be costly. The eagle cannot linger when the storm intensifies, it must act using skill, timing, and decisiveness to navigate the turbulence. Similarly, in life, growth occurs when we confront challenges directly, take bold steps despite uncertainty, and trust in our preparation and ability. Those who wait for ideal conditions rarely achieve greatness, for opportunity and pressure are often inseparable. The measure of a person is not the absence of pressure, but the mastery of it. Finally, pressure teaches focus. In the heart of a storm, the eagle must concentrate on what truly matters, its path, its goal, its survival. Distractions vanish, irrelevant concerns fall away, and only the essentials guide action. In our own lives, moments of stress illuminate priorities, clarify purpose, and reveal what is truly important. By facing pressure head-on, we cultivate discipline, sharpen our mental acuity, and learn to channel energy efficiently toward the objectives that matter most. The eagle, by thriving under pressure, reminds us that growth and strength are rarely born in comfort. They emerge when we face challenges directly, rise to meet adversity, and allow the forces around us to teach, test, and elevate us. Life's most significant achievements are forged not in calm skies, but in the turbulent winds that challenge our wings, sharpen our instincts, and compel us to ascend. The fifth principle of the eagle's success is the delicate balance between protection and release, a lesson that teaches us when to nurture and when to let go. The eagle fiercely guards its nest and its young, ensuring that they are safe and cared for during their early days. It provides warmth, guidance, and sustenance, understanding that growth cannot occur without a foundation of security. Yet when the time comes, the eagle does not cling. It pushes its fledglings out of the nest, compelling them to face the wind, to test their wings, and to discover their own strength. In life, there is a similar rhythm we must honor, the balance between holding on to what nurtures us and releasing what allows us to grow. Too often, people either cling too tightly to comfort, guidance, or past accomplishments, or they release themselves too early, plunging into challenges unprepared. The eagle shows that wisdom lies in knowing when to protect and when to push forward. Protection is not passive, it is active preparation. The eagle ensures that its young are fed, nurtured, and observed, creating the conditions in which they can develop strength, skill, and confidence. Similarly, in our own lives, we must cultivate the right environment for growth. This may involve surrounding ourselves with supportive influences, gathering knowledge, practicing skills, or building habits that prepare us for the challenges ahead. Just as the eagle cannot leave its young to survive without first strengthening them, we cannot leap into the heights of success without laying the groundwork in our character, abilities, and resilience. Yet protection alone is not enough. The eagle demonstrates that true success comes when one is willing to let go, to face the forces of life directly, and to rely on one's own wings. There comes a moment when the nest is no longer a sanctuary but a limitation. The fledgling must be pushed into the wind, encouraged to stretch its wings, and taught that growth requires risk. In human terms, this principle teaches that we cannot remain in comfort zones indefinitely. We must take risks, embrace uncertainty, and step into situations that challenge us if we are to reach our full potential. Protection without release can lead to stagnation, dependence, and a life lived below capacity. The act of pushing forward also instills confidence and self-reliance. When the eagle's young are forced into the currents, they discover their ability to navigate the sky, to adjust to turbulence, and to achieve flight on their own. Likewise, personal growth requires moments of trial where we rely on our own judgment, strength, and perseverance. Only by facing these tests do we develop the resilience and independence necessary for lasting success. The eagle understands that sheltering indefinitely does not teach survival, it only delays the inevitable necessity of self-reliance. Furthermore, this principle extends to the way we manage relationships, opportunities, and responsibilities. Holding on too tightly, whether to people, outcomes, or situations, can stifle progress and create dependency. Conversely, releasing thoughtfully, with intention, creates space for growth, discovery, and the unfolding of potential. The eagle models this balance perfectly: protection without control, nurturing without coddling, guidance without restraint. By embracing both aspects, guarding what is valuable while letting go when growth demands it, we learn a rhythm of life that fosters strength, independence, and meaningful achievement. This duality of nurture and release is a lesson in timing, wisdom, and courage, showing that life's greatest victories come not from clinging to security, but from knowing when to step into the wind, spread our wings, and trust ourselves to soar. The sixth principle of the eagle's success is renewal, a lesson in resilience, transformation, and the courage to let go of what no longer serves you. The eagle, when it reaches a stage where its feathers are heavy, worn, or damaged, does not despair. It retreats into a period of renewal, a time of painful but necessary transformation. It sheds the old, grows new feathers, sharpens its beak, and strengthens its talons. In doing so, the eagle extends its life, restores its vitality, and prepares to fly higher than ever before. In human terms, this principle teaches that growth and continued achievement require periods of introspection, reinvention, and sometimes letting go of familiar patterns, habits, or beliefs that weigh us down. Renewal is not a sign of weakness or failure, It is the deliberate choice to invest in oneself, to prepare for greater challenges, and to rise with renewed strength. Many people resist change because it feels uncomfortable, because it threatens what is known and familiar. They cling to old habits, outdated thinking, or worn-out routines, believing that consistency alone will sustain them. Yet, just as the eagle cannot remain strong with tattered wings, we cannot continue to thrive without refreshing our skills, updating our knowledge, and renewing our mindset. Renewal requires honesty, the courage to recognize what is holding us back, and action, the determination to make necessary changes, even when it is difficult. It demands patience, for transformation does not happen instantly, and faith, for the effort invested today will yield results tomorrow. The process of renewal also teaches resilience. The eagle's transformation is not easy. It is a vulnerable time, one in which it cannot hunt as effectively, one in which survival depends on careful timing, preparation, and trust in the natural process. Similarly, in our own lives, periods of renewal can feel uncertain, risky, and even uncomfortable. Yet it is precisely during these times that character is strengthened, clarity is gained, and new opportunities are revealed. Those who embrace renewal understand that stagnation is far more dangerous than temporary discomfort. By shedding what no longer serves us, we create space for growth, strength, and fresh perspectives. Renewal also fosters adaptability. Life is constantly changing and success is rarely a straight path. The eagle's ability to renew itself allows it to remain a master of its environment, capable of adjusting to new circumstances with grace and precision. For us, renewal is the act of aligning ourselves with the demands of the present while preparing for the possibilities of the future. It may involve learning new skills, adopting healthier habits, or redefining our goals. The essence of renewal lies in transformation that empowers action rather than immobilizes it. Finally, renewal reminds us that our potential is not fixed. Even when we feel depleted, overextended, or incapable, there is the possibility to rise again stronger and wiser. The eagle's life demonstrates that growth is cyclical and continuous. Decline is not permanent when met with deliberate effort to restore strength. Renewal is the conscious decision to invest in oneself, to embrace change, and to prepare for a life that soars above what we previously thought possible. It teaches us that the journey of success is not linear, but that every period of shedding, growth, and restoration brings us closer to mastery, vision, and the heights we are meant to reach. The seventh principle of the eagle's success is swiftness and decisiveness, a lesson in action, timing, and the ability to seize opportunity. The eagle does not hover indefinitely, paralyzed by doubt or over-analysis. When the moment to strike arrives, it moves with precision, speed, and unwavering focus. Its prey, carefully observed from miles above, has no chance to escape once the eagle commits. In human life, success operates in a similar way. Opportunities often present themselves fleetingly, and hesitation can turn potential triumph into regret. Those who cultivate the habit of decisive action position themselves to capture what others miss, transforming preparation and vision into tangible results. Swiftness, however, is not reckless haste. The eagle does not dive blindly. It calculates the wind, measures the distance, and assesses the trajectory before unleashing its power. In the same way, true decisiveness comes not from impulsivity, but from preparation, knowledge, and clarity of purpose. A person who has cultivated skill, honed judgment, and clarified goals can move rapidly when the opportunity presents itself, because their mind and instincts are aligned. Indecision often results not from lack of courage, but from lack of clarity or preparation. The eagle's example reminds us that readiness combined with prompt action produces results that slow or hesitant individuals cannot achieve. Decisiveness also demands confidence. Once the eagle commits to its dive, it does not second-guess or hesitate. It trusts its instincts, its strength, and its vision. Similarly, in life, the moment to act requires courage born of trust in one's abilities and judgment. Even well-laid plans mean little if we fail to act upon them decisively. Confidence is cultivated through experience, preparation, and repeated practice. By taking action, learning from outcomes, and adjusting accordingly, we strengthen our ability to move with certainty when it matters most. Every act of decisiveness builds momentum, reinforces courage, and sharpens intuition, creating a cycle in which action begets further action and success compounds. The principle of swiftness also emphasizes the importance of timing. The eagle strikes when the conditions are perfect, not before, not after. Opportunity, like prey, is often fleeting. Being prepared to act at the right moment transforms possibility into achievement. Many people fail not because they lack vision or ability, but because they miss the precise moment when action would have yielded maximum results. The eagle teaches us to observe carefully, to understand the dynamics of our environment, and to act promptly when conditions align. Delays, hesitation, or procrastination diminish outcomes while timely action amplifies them. Finally, swiftness and decisiveness cultivate mastery over fear and doubt. The eagle's dive is high risk. It must commit fully or fail. In life, decisive action often involves risk, taking steps that challenge comfort, certainty, or security. Those who practice moving with promptness learn to manage fear, to trust preparation, and to act even in uncertainty. This principle reinforces the idea that success is not achieved by waiting for perfect conditions, but by aligning readiness with opportunity, trusting one's judgment, and moving boldly when the moment demands it. The eagle shows that life rewards those who fly with purpose, strike with precision, and act without hesitation. The eighth principle of the eagle's success is loyalty to its mission, a lesson in focus, commitment, and the unyielding pursuit of purpose. The eagle does not wander aimlessly through the sky, distracted by every movement or noise below. From the moment it leaves the nest, it is committed to the path that aligns with its nature and its purpose. Its vision, its energy, and its actions are all devoted to fulfilling that mission, whether hunting, protecting its territory, or raising its young. In human life, loyalty to a clearly defined purpose is the cornerstone of sustained achievement. Those who scatter their energies, following every passing trend or fleeting desire, never reach the heights they are capable of. True success comes from unwavering commitment to a worthy goal, a mission that resonates deeply with one's values and abilities. Loyalty to one's mission requires clarity of purpose. The eagle's path is not random, it is guided by instinct, experience, and observation. Similarly, we must define our own mission with precision. Without a clear understanding of what we are striving for, our actions become fragmented, our efforts diluted, and our potential squandered. A well-defined mission acts as a compass, guiding decisions, shaping priorities, and focusing energy. It provides a framework for evaluating opportunities, discerning distractions, and committing to the actions that truly advance our objectives. Without this clarity, even the most talented individual may wander, exhausted but unfulfilled. Commitment also demands discipline. The eagle's devotion to its purpose is evident in its daily practices, its flights, its hunting routines, and its preparation for survival. In human terms, loyalty to a mission requires consistent effort, persistence, and the willingness to endure challenges and setbacks. The path to success is rarely linear or easy. Obstacles will arise, doubts will surface, and temptations to abandon the goal will appear. Yet those who remain loyal to their mission cultivate resilience, patience, and the habit of persistent action, transforming challenges into opportunities for growth rather than reasons to quit. Furthermore, loyalty to one's mission involves courage. The eagle does not compromise its purpose for convenience, comfort, or approval. It flies where it must, faces storms, and acts decisively in pursuit of its goals. Likewise, remaining true to our mission often requires standing apart from the crowd, making difficult decisions, and resisting the pressure to conform. Loyalty is not passive, it is active, demanding choices that honor long-term objectives over short-term ease. The individual who practices this loyalty learns to trust their instincts, honor their values, and pursue excellence without apology. Finally, loyalty to a mission creates alignment between thought, word, and action. The eagle's life is a model of coherence, its intentions, efforts, and outcomes are synchronized. For humans, this alignment is essential for achieving meaningful success. When our actions consistently reflect our purpose, we conserve energy, maximize impact, and cultivate credibility and trust. The eagle demonstrates that the heights of achievement are reserved for those who remain steadfast in their commitment, who focus relentlessly on their mission, and who allow nothing to divert them from the pursuit of their true calling. The ninth principle of the eagle's success is the pursuit of freshness, a lesson in seeking vitality, challenge, and continual growth. The eagle does not feed on the carrion of the past, it seeks the living, the immediate, the opportunities that demand strength, skill, and focus. Its prey must be fresh, for stale or decayed nourishment cannot sustain the eagle's power or vitality. In life, this principle translates into a refusal to dwell on past successes, rely on outdated strategies, or repeat old habits without examination. Growth requires fresh challenges, new experiences, and the constant pursuit of improvement. Those who feed on yesterday's victories or excuses stagnate, while those who seek what is new and demanding continually sharpen their abilities and expand their capacity. Freshness is not simply novelty, it is a deliberate choice to remain engaged, alert, and adaptive. The eagle's hunt is not mindless, it involves constant observation, calculation, and timing. The landscape, the movements of prey, and the conditions of wind and weather all demand attention. Similarly, in our lives, we must continually assess our environment, identify new opportunities, and adapt our strategies to remain effective. Complacency is the enemy of progress. By seeking freshness in our work, relationships, and personal development, we ensure that our skills remain honed, our minds remain sharp, and our goals remain alive with purpose. The pursuit of fresh challenges also strengthens resilience. The eagle faces danger in every hunt. Its prey is swift, its environment unpredictable, and failure carries real consequences. By seeking these challenges rather than avoiding them, the eagle becomes stronger, more agile, and more capable over time. In human terms, avoiding difficult tasks or situations may offer temporary comfort, but it deprives us of the growth that comes from confronting and overcoming obstacles. Fresh challenges test our abilities, reveal our limits, and push us to expand them. Those who embrace them develop the confidence, experience, and strength necessary to rise above adversity and seize opportunity. Freshness also fosters innovation and creativity. The eagle must constantly adapt its tactics, adjust its angle of approach, and refine its methods to capture its prey. Likewise, we must approach problems, opportunities, and goals with a mindset open to new ideas, perspectives, and solutions. Relying on old methods may work for a time, but innovation comes from engaging with the new, experimenting with possibilities, and refusing to settle for what is familiar or easy. By seeking fresh ways to achieve our goals, we maintain momentum and cultivate a life of continuous improvement and meaningful accomplishment. Finally, the eagle's commitment to freshness teaches a lesson in vitality and purpose. Life is sustained when we engage with what is alive, challenging, and meaningful. Feeding on the past, on what is decayed or convenient, leads to stagnation, weakness, and decline. Those who seek freshness cultivate energy, drive, and clarity, maintaining the strength and vision necessary to soar to new heights. In every aspect of life, work, relationships, learning, and personal growth, the principle of freshness encourages a mindset that rejects complacency, embraces challenge, and continually reaches beyond what has already been achieved, ensuring that our journey remains dynamic, powerful, and full of potential. The 10th principle of the eagle's success is elevation, a lesson in rising above noise, distraction, and the ordinary limitations that keep most people grounded. The eagle does not live among the clutter of the lowlands. It chooses the high peaks, the open skies, and the thin air where clarity reigns and only the strongest can thrive. From this vantage point, it surveys its world with perspective, focus, and freedom. In life, elevation is both literal and metaphorical. It is the conscious decision to rise above trivialities, petty conflicts, and the distractions that drain energy and obscure purpose. Those who cultivate the habit of elevation create the space necessary to see clearly, think deeply, and act with intention. Elevation begins with mental clarity. The eagle's environment is vast and open, allowing it to observe patterns, movements, and opportunities that are invisible to those closer to the ground. Similarly, a person who elevates their thinking gains perspective on their life, their goals, and the world around them. It is the ability to step back from immediate pressures, to assess what truly matters, and to distinguish between the essential and the trivial. Without elevation, we become enmeshed in the minutiae of daily life, reacting to distractions rather than shaping our destiny. By seeking higher ground in thought and awareness, we create the conditions for focused action and informed decision-making. Elevation also demands discipline and sacrifice. The eagle does not linger where the air is thick with heat, confusion, or stagnation. It chooses the hard climb, the thin atmosphere, and the effort required to reach heights where vision and freedom are possible. In human terms, this may mean distancing oneself from negative influences, abandoning habits that impede growth, or prioritizing long-term goals over short-term comfort. Elevation is rarely easy, for it requires courage to step away from familiarity, to resist peer pressure, and to maintain focus on what truly matters. Yet it is in this ascent that strength, clarity, and resilience are cultivated. Furthermore, elevation amplifies opportunity. From its lofty perch, the eagle can identify prey, navigate obstacles, and plan a path that others cannot see. Similarly, by raising ourselves above distraction and the noise of everyday life, we gain insight into possibilities that remain invisible to those mired in routine or indecision. Elevated thinking allows us to anticipate trends, recognize opportunities before they become obvious, and act with foresight rather than reaction. It is a principle that separates leaders from followers, visionaries from the distracted, and achievers from the complacent. Elevation also nurtures freedom and perspective. The higher the eagle flies, the greater its range of vision and the fewer the obstacles it encounters. In life, when we cultivate elevation, we gain emotional, mental, and strategic freedom. We are less influenced by external pressures, more capable of independent thought, and better positioned to make choices aligned with our purpose. By rising above the noise, we gain perspective, seeing both challenges and opportunities with clarity, and acting with intention rather than impulse. Ultimately, the principle of elevation teaches that to soar in life, we must rise above distraction, mediocrity, and the trivial concerns that consume most of the world. By seeking higher ground in thought, action, and environment, we create the conditions necessary for achievement, vision, and lasting impact. As we draw this reflection to a close, remember that the life of an eagle is not simply a spectacle of nature. It is a blueprint for human achievement. Each of the principles we've explored, the clarity of vision, the courage to rise above storms, the discipline of solitude, the strength found in pressure, the balance of protection and release, the wisdom of renewal, the decisiveness to act, loyalty to purpose, the pursuit of freshness, and the elevation above distraction, forms a path toward a life of meaning, impact, and fulfillment. These are not distant ideals reserved for the fortunate few. They are choices, habits, and perspectives that any individual can cultivate. The eagle teaches us that success is not given. It is earned through deliberate thought, disciplined action, and the courage to face challenges head-on. It reminds us that the storms we fear most are often the very forces that lift us higher, that solitude is a companion to growth, that renewal is a necessary cycle of transformation, and that every opportunity demands timely, decisive action. By adopting the eagle mindset, we learn to focus on what truly matters, to rise above distraction, and to align our thoughts and actions with the highest possibilities of our potential. In the end, life rewards those who think clearly, act courageously, and persevere relentlessly. It is a life lived with vision, with purpose, and with the awareness that we are capable of far more than we often believe. The eagle reminds us that the heights are there for the taking, but only for those willing to climb, to endure, to stretch, and to soar beyond the ordinary. So take this lesson to heart. Examine your vision, embrace your challenges, cultivate your strength, and commit to rising above the noise of everyday life. Let the eagle guide your thinking, your actions, and your ambitions. Choose today to think like an eagle, act like an eagle, and live with the freedom, clarity, and courage that comes only to those who dare to soar.